Hey, Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your Phantasy Star podcast recorded live on January 28th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me here is Rooks. Go ahead and say hello.
Greetings, everyone.
So, we've got a big one here today. This is basically where, we know Vile's coming, but what else is coming in February? Just quickly looking at the roadmap, it looks like we've at least got potentially the class levels changing to 100 with this release, as well as some other stuff. Not to mention, we've still got the ongoing thing with Masquerade, which, if you saw my video yesterday, I originally wasn't going to release that, but ultimately I did clown on him a bit there, and so we'll see if things get any more difficult, because honestly, it pales in comparison to the speed and difficulty of the base PSO2 version.
Well, I'm also going to say the NGS classes are also slower in general, and they may have toned it down just because they figured that the average MMO player just isn't up for that kind of speed.
It's possible. But at the same time, I remember them saying way back when NGS started that they were going to bring the speed back eventually. So I don't know what they're holding back for. Because we're basically 2.5, 3 years into this at this point, I think.
Yeah, and I'm also going to hold back my comments about why they might be holding back on the difficulty, just because as for other possible content, we may be getting looked at the story connected to Vale as well. It probably won't be that dramatic right now, but at least maybe we'll see something.
Yeah, isn't that something we've been missing for a long time? 9 months or so with no story updates whatsoever. I can't believe Sega actually let that go that long here. I don't know what the delay is that caused this in the first place. Because, apparently they had a 5-year plan, but who knows where that is at this point.
I think they may have seen the positive response to certain revelations in Chapter 7 and realized, oh, we actually have to connect this story now to base PSO2.
Yeah, it's very possible. Not to mention, as you were bringing up earlier, again, the back in the Discord, the character election that Zafeto was basically number 2 in that.
Yep, and there was a concerted effort from the player base to try to send a message to Sega through that they haven't done a real decent job growing the main characters on us, and basically the only one that's actually did anything for our character really was Zafeto.
Pretty much, yeah, and he's supposedly dead now, but who knows what the actual situation is going to be at the end of this whole thing. I made my prediction a while back that they were potentially just simply testing for things after the whole training thing that we went through. So he might still be alive? I don't know. We'll see what the story has to say. It's either going to be they're going to pull the curtain back on this being yet another whole testing thing that he did, or he really is dead, and we're going to be looking towards that staff now in the tower. But anyway, headlines on.
Welcome back, everybody, to NGS Headline.
Hello, everyone. It's 9 p.m. So let's get started with NGS Headline. I am Hiro Arai, the official navigator of NGS, and I will be the MC for this program. I will be bringing you the latest info on NGS. But first, I would like to wish you all a belated Happy New Year. Thank you for tuning into Headline again this year. Since this is the first broadcast of the year, we have lots of new info and exciting surprises in store. Stick around until the end.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now, once again, this program is to inform players about the current operation and upcoming updates of Sega's online RPG, PSO2
okay.
New Genesis,
So
also known
that
as
footage
NGS.
looks like we may
We will
be
also
getting
share
a
details
mono
about exciting
battle against
campaigns
Vale.
and peripheral
Yeah.
information, and discuss the present
And that
and future
looks like
of
that was
NGS
happening
for
in the
our
Lost
players.
City, because I saw the
This is a pre-recorded broadcast.
Clarissa in the background
If
there.
you would like to watch it in Japanese, you can check it out on the Japanese NGS YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's move on to the updates you've all been waiting for.
NGS Hot Information.
First off, I'd like to share some info on the February 2025 updates. Let's start with the video.
So this is probably the Vile music. Yep, this is going to be depths 5 and 6.
I'm not seeing any new attacks here I haven't seen already.
Right.
But at least we gave the camo.
Yep. In about, what, 6 or 8 weeks, right? New Urgent and the Stars Fell. They're probably not going to reveal it here, but I'm expecting there to be a new vocal track as well. Looks like that might also be a forced Mars fight. Alright, here we go. Level 100 and the Hunter update. I think I can do it at the quality.
Good. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
They heard the complaints. Good.
Alright, Crimson Realm comes back. Storage limits increased.
Okay, interesting.
Alright, this must be the new collab.
Oh, this is, yeah, certain magical index.
俺、上条トーマはレベル0。全くの無能力者。
私の名前はインデックスって言うんだよ。
Messaging, I don't know if we're going to see a Phantasy Star 5 anytime soon.
I mean, which team would handle it? I mean, the closest probably would be Sonic Team.
Sonic Team, or maybe the team that that Riko Kodama used to work with.
These are incredibly annoying.
そう
I don't
Yeah.
know how many of,
そんなものは不要
I
です
don't know how many times we've had players just spam these noisy things in the middle of the chat.
Up, down, choo, choo, choo.
Super better, there may be a reason to be confident about that.
I can't believe they're doing more of Line Strike here.
覚悟はいい撃ち抜く
I mean, it's very easy content to add in, honestly.
True. I don't know what's up with their stream today. It's just like really low quality for some reason. Everything's just showing up pixelated here.
I am at max settings for that.
Yep, same here.
Hey, Wolf.
Yep, hey Wolf. We got a 12-player limited time quest coming up.
Give me an opportunity to take on all the ruinous enemies.
Yep.
Okay, good. Getting some new.
Oh, and they're turning the urgent into a trigger. We haven't had one of those in a long time. I think the last one was the Gal Griffin.
Yep. But then again, we haven't had a major urgent quest in a while that wasn't based off of already created quest.
True, and it wasn't something that you could just start in the map. Which is kind of curious why they're not doing that again here.
Because as much as people claim they wanted it, the average player really didn't want the average player really didn't want those high difficulty quests. There basically appeals to only a single section of the demographic of NGS, unfortunately. No, I would say we would see a return to that later if we could ever get the game. If the game could ever get its player base increased.
Yep, that could happen. Yeah, I could see that.
Do they really expect us to pay money for these silly motion changes?
Yeah, it seems... I don't know.
How was it? Let me go through the details with these slides.
Super, not every player
Starting with
wants
this.
ultra high difficulty.
On January 28th, depths 5 and 6 will be added to Extra Dual Fictitious Beam.
And then what if you're a
Take
single
on a powered-up
solo
Ruin
player
Masquerader.
who can't get a proper
Along
group
with new
around,
depths.
and you're stuck
New
basically
items
playing
will
the
be added to
content,
the rank
this
10
extra hard
rewards.
content with a bunch of people who expect to be carried.
A weapon camo based
not exactly
on the
a fun
Ruin
situation.
Masquerader's weapon. and items that change your ARK's ID background will be up for grabs. Take on this quest as many times as you need to grab that fancy loot. In addition to new difficulty levels, limited time tasks are also being added. You'll also be able to complete more of the title tasks, so take on each one and rake in SG and N Master Cubes. Next, I'd like to introduce the Revival AC Scratch Ticket, Hairstyle Revival January 2025. This scratch ticket includes hairstyles previously released in NGS, such as wet and long hair and Miness hair. Look out for the PSO2 hairstyle Owl Short Hair 2 and the Lux Hull Finale S Augment, which both make a comeback in the scratch count bonus.
Aside from the Meseta is there any reason not to get that from the base game?
We'll be releasing the Revival AC Scratch Ticket, Rewind Collection February 2025.
Not quite sure what you mean.
This scratch
The
ticket
PSO2
contains spec
hairstyle.
items from past AC Scratch tickets.
That would pretty
The
much
scratch
be
count bonus
the main
features
thing.
multiple
If they're
previously
still up
released
and
motion
available,
change
that
items
is.
and PSO2
That's a good point,
spec
yeah.
weapon camos.
But I thought like everything was being distributed now in the base
February
game.
is Ultra PSO2
Not
month.
quite. There's still some omissions.
Gotcha.
Along with an Ultra
Like there
PSO2
is
day
a certain costume
featuring
I will
double
never be
the
able to probably
increased
get
boost
from
rates
base
and login
PSO2,
gifts Of a
unfortunately.
regular PSO2 day, you can win up to 10 million.
Was it part of a
Meseta
collaboration?
with a new reward scratch ticket.
No,
Don't
not
miss out.
collaboration. It was part of the
The new urgent
player
quest, and the Stars
designed
Fell,
costumes.
drops on February 5th.
Gotcha.
And as far as I know, they have never
This
re-released
quest
it.
advances the story as you face off against Dark Falls Vile, who has finally
Ah, it
reemerged.
has a story progression quest. Good.
Okay.
After receiving
not
an
doing-
emergency transmission from Crawford, warning of the imminent reappearance of Vile, the protagonist, now a guardian sworn to confront incoming threats, teams up with their fellow ARKS defenders to intercept Dark Falls Vile.
That sounds like Aina
Witness
and Manon
the
again.
destructive power of Dark Falls Vile's attacks.
It says it was up to
firsthand.
8 participants,
Please
so
note that
That's
this
true,
quest
but they could
supports
still be
up
in the
to 8
background
players,
somewhere.
And the acceptance requirements for this quest include being able to use Mars.
you gotta understand
So
they're
be sure
desperate
complete the
to
main task
get
of
those
Mars Arise
characters
first.
accepted by the player base.
Yeah.
Title tasks and special limited
Yeah, they
time
are,
tasks
and-
will also be added.
There's no reason it shouldn't
Complete
just be
these
them,
tasks to
if that's the
receive
case.
titles and
Maybe
Master
throw
Cube
Dozer in there as
and
well.
silver or gold Big Bang scratch tickets. In preparation for Vile's reappearance, the level cap of each class has been raised to 100. Hunter will be the next class to receive updates, following last year's Force update. Swords, wired lances, and partisans will receive revamped
My
effects.
worry is that we're going to see some nerfs
And new
here.
class skills will be added along with balance adjustments. With this update, we'll also be reducing the cooldown time of active skills at quest start to 10 seconds across the board. This change applies to the active skills of all classes. Level up your character to intercept the incoming threat. Starting February 5th,
So,
the 11-star rarity Tricelia weapon series will become upgradable to the new 12-star rarity Acrocelia weapon series. This series has stats befitting a high rarity weapon and a potential that unleashes a follow-up attack when Photon Blast is activated.
so if they reduce the cooldown of all the active
items required
skills
for
to
upgrading
just
can
10
be obtained
seconds,
from the
so then
urgent quest and the
I guess
Stars
that means like things like Hunter
Tackle this new
would be able to
challenge
constantly
and get
spam
yourself
their
some shiny new weapons.
their big shielding attack while or
Also,
shield
for 1 week
while
only,
like fighter
starting
could just
February
constantly
5th,
be in their
The Crimson Realm will appear in Stia combat
in
sectors.
their thing that boosts their attack.
Like last time, the location
Or did I
will
misinterpret
alternate
Let me
between
break.
the Dext
Let me
base
break.
and Nusi
I have no
class.
clue.
The
It might
skies are
be.
dyed an ominous red, and starless enemies are powered up.
There would probably have to be a drawback or something.
In the
Yeah.
Crimson Realm, trials have a chance to change over. And by
The
completing
new weapon is
trial
probably
side
going to
missions,
require parts from
players
the
can trigger
from
PSO
Vile.
burst fortes and encores.
So I could see players
As the battles
spamming that
get more
urgent a lot.
hectic, the rewards get more lavish. Put your skills to the test in the Crimson Realm when it appears in these combat sectors. Along with the Crimson Realm, limited time tasks will also be added.
No new units though.
Complete these tasks to acquire Evoluvolt 1.
So I guess
Evoluvolt
we're
2,
still waiting a
and
bit until we get
Prograde
12-star units.
Units,
Next,
even
I'd like
in
to
PS
highlight
Base
various
PS2, was always
functionality
one
improvements
run
and
rank
new
below.
gameplay elements.
Yep.
First off, build part versions of some accessories and the Straga series weapons are being added for use in creative spaces. Deck out your creative and alliance spaces with these swanky new pieces.
Nice. They're giving us 50
We'll also
slots
be
now in the
implementing
personal
a
shop
highly
instead of
requested
30.
change to the personal shop. The limit for items for sale will be expanded to 50 slots from the current 30. Likewise, some storage options will be expanded as well. Character storage will be expanded to 2,000 slots from the current 1,000. Temporary quest storage will be expanded to 200 slots from the current 100. Mission Pass storage will be expanded to 400 slots from the current 300.
Now, do you have to pay
Embrace
to
your inner
unlock
hoarder
these
and
increases
stock up
like
more
you do
items
with
than ever
character
before.
storage?
Additionally, a recommended content section will be displayed on the main menu screen for players who have cleared Chapter
Well,
5 of the
in all
story and
honesty,
surpassed a certain
they
battle
probably
power.
could afford. I mean, they could probably afford a lot of storage. This is probably a come on.
Recommended content will display the latest content the player can currently participate in.
When you realize basically
We hope
old
this will
character
be
storage is
helpful when
basically
you're
a text
unsure of
file
which
somewhere
sector
on
to
their
head to
computer.
at the moment or which
Yep.
quests to take on. You'll even be able to jump straight into applicable content from the recommended content section. We hope these new features will make adventuring an even more enjoyable experience. Next, I'd like to introduce some functionality improvements for Line Strike. A battle option will be added to the deck list menu. This option will allow the player to face off against Cardmaster Victoria in an NPC battle using a deck
That might be fun,
set by the
Super.
player. Normal NPC battles may be a bit lacking for players who want to test out new decks or practice
Yeah,
playing
that could be
against certain
interesting.
decks. So use this feature to hone your strategies.
Although for me, I didn't use it. That 14 star. It didn't gel with my playstyle.
Deals on item sets are
As a
available
hunter.
at the AC and SG shops. A sale icon will be displayed. Also, when an item set is on sale at the AC shop, you can receive 2 free NEX cubes every day as a gift for visiting the shop. Peek into the shops often to receive gifts and check for item sets.
Sega, if you really want us to spend money, make it so that we don't feel like we're enabling
NGS
bad
collab
behavior
with the
on your
anime,
part
a
by
certain
spending
magical
it.
index will begin on February
Yep.
5th, 2025.
Maybe it's time to just get rid of the gotcha
Log in
portion.
during the collab period to get login bonuses.
Go back
could
to
just-
subscription,
SP, GP,
or
That
outright
or
buy.
just let players buy the thing they want.
Mikoto Misaka, Kaori Kanzaki, and Accelerator. The new AC
I mean, that's
scratch
basically
team, a
how
certain magical
Black Desert
index
does it,
style,
and they
will also
apparently
make
do
its
fine.
debut. It features avatar items that transform your character into Toma Kamijo, Index, Mikoto Misaka, Little Misaka, Kaori Kanzaki, and Accelerator, as well as emotes and motion changes that recreate magic and Esper abilities from the anime, including Imagine Breaker, Motion, Idol, John's Pen, and Motion Dash Accelerator. Additionally, many other collab items will be up for grabs, including voice chat stamps with quotes from memorable scenes and the weapon camo Mikoto Misaka's Electricity. The scratch count bonus includes the emote, Railgun, John's Pen, so don't miss out. The new limited time quest, Drill Ruinous Grand Battle Series, arrives on February 11th. Set in Maquad lower level, you'll face off against ruinous enemies who spawn in 3 different spots. Up to 12 players can join, so split up and take them down, then fight together against the final boss.
Gotcha. So this is going to be effectively just a pure grind here, because this is where those triggers drop.
Complete this quest to earn a title, plus Ectus Vance 1 and 2, Progress Grinders, and more. Mission Pass NGS Season 41 is also on the way. Get stamps and accessories, as well as a ton of valuable items carried over from the previous lineup, including personal shop use 3 days and SG scratch ticket price slips. This time the pass also boasts the armor accessory Wing Ceres from PSO2, the new accessories leg cuffs and ice staff, and an alternate color version of the motion change dash, Farfalla. Don't miss out. For Creative Space, alternate color versions of Gothic Series and Sweet Series build parts will make their debut. You can pick these up with SG, so why not give your Creative Space or Alliance Space a new look? Moving on, new difficulty levels for Extra Duel Fictitious Beam will be added on February 11th. Take on an even more powerful Ruin Masquerader in Depths 7 and 8. Along with the additional depths, there are more items to earn by completing rank 10, including accessories modeled after an enraged Ruin Masquerader's mantle and weapon. Lock in and win! Limited time tasks will also be added along with these new difficulty levels, so aim to complete those as well. The Urgent Quest and the Stars Fell, playable since last week, will be available as the Trigger Quest Drill and the Stars Fell. For 1 week only, until February 19th, you will be able to accept this quest under limited time quests in the quest menu. After that date, it will be available as a trigger quest. The content and the rewards for the quest will remain the same. You can get the trigger items you'll need to play this quest in the limited time quest mentioned earlier, Drill Ruinous Grand Battle Series. Time for some double questing. Take a bite of our new AC scratch ticket, Sweet Bitter Fashion. Alternative fashion takes center stage with a fur sweater, outer, and more.
Seriously, why can't
The
they
scratch
just
count bonus
bring
features
in
alternative versions of the
stuff that looks
glide
like
and
it fits
dash
within the
CO2
Phantasy Star
EX motion
universe?
change items included in the
Bring
scratch
I
back
don't
the
know.
old.
So be sure to
Why
check it
couldn't they
out.
just bring back stuff that? I
Those
mean,
were the
if they
updates
got
for the
at
first
least
half of
bring back
February.
the old
Now let's see what's coming in the
Um,
second half of the month with this
Phantasy
video.
Star outfits that they had.
That could be nice, yeah. From the classic Algol series, yeah.
Absolutely would love to, something like that.
Alright, the seal's being updated again.
Well, there's your unit.
Yep. So now I'll put it on one of those then.
Oh, it looks like he's finally able to keep the...
He didn't stick around for that long, I thought. I think it's more he's able to summon more at a single time. Although he did have some kind of egg there?
Oh, super! There's your weapon camo. No, it hasn't been replaced, it's just been reduced. They need to go back to the original player base if they want the game to survive.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, finally something that looks like it belongs in ARKS.
Going with some B-cast outfits, apparently.
Okay, I think this might be worth actually scratching on.
Potentially, yeah. Or at least waiting until the stuff goes up on the player shops and then you just get it from the setup.
Okay, it looks like they are starting to figure things out a bit better. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't need accessories for wings. I get that from my weapon.
Don't have a character who might actually appreciate that. But I wish they would make it so that having extra characters actually mattered.
What did you think?
True.
Let's look at a summary of the updates with some slides. Starting February 19th, new gameplay elements will be added to Lucille Exploration. Enemy levels will get a boost, a new sector, and a new player ability buff will be added, and Ruin Griffon will appear as a boss enemy. The new player ability buff is a powerful effect that pairs well with PAs and techniques that are difficult to pull off, as it provides an additional attack when a PA or technique hits. In addition, enemies have been given enhanced abilities. Some effects, such as those highlighting stun effects or the ability to enhance an enemy after it revives from a downed state, will test your judgment in battle, so keep your eyes peeled. We're also adding a limited time task in conjunction with this update to Lucille Exploration. Complete this task to get your hands on Ectus Vance 1 and 2 and a Progress Grinder. Along with this update to Lucille Exploration, the 10-star rarity Tristasis Armor series will become upgradable to the new 11-star rarity Acrotasis Armor series. The new series offers higher weapon up values in addition to better HP, PP, and damage resist. You'll be able to get what you need to upgrade in forthcoming content as well as Lucille Exploration, so we encourage you to play a wide range of quests and tasks.
Enjoy spamming Lucille.
Next up is AC Support Item Select.
Oh,
Extra
no.
AC Support
Okay.
Select.
New
Pay
augments.
to win.
The new Lars class augments feature only a small potency floor increase, but they also come packing a large potency increase. Since the Lars class is a different category of augments from the Anadi class, Lars class augments and Anadi class augments can be used together.
Okay, way too much pay to win.
Yeah, so if you don't want to do like a grand
Add a Lars augment to your
Dreadkeeper
weapon
2 or
or
something
armor
like
for a
that, you can do
hard-hitting
this
combo.
instead.
The highest difficulty levels for Extra Duel Fictitious Beam will drop on February 25th. The battles at depths 9 and 10 are vicious, especially the fight with the final Ruin Masquerader, where a special twist awaits.
One hit equals instant death.
Along
Yeah,
with the new
anybody
deaths,
that did Death
will be adding
999
new
remembers
items to
that
earn
from the base
when you
game.
clear rank 10. You can get your hands on an item that will let you change your vital gauge design, as well as weapon camo modeled after the weapon of an enraged Ruin Masquerader. Gear up and get ready for a brutal battle with Ruin Masquerader at top difficulty. In conjunction with the new difficulty levels, we'll be adding a limited time task, and more title tasks will open up for completion. Hit them up to earn SG. My next meowncement is perfect for all you feline fans out there. The AC Scratch Ticket Neon Cat Marshal brings cat-themed outfits, light combat suits, cast parts, and more. The Scratch Count bonus features alternative versions of the Glide and Dash Mech Wings EX motion change items included
I wonder
in
if
the
it's
Scratch
possible to
Ticket
get the
prizes.
cast parts without the fur on it.
But wait, there's more. On March 1st, you'll also be able to pick up the Revival AC Scratch Ticket Rewind Collection March 2025. This scratch ticket lets you get your grubby little hands on NGS spec items from past AC
Okay,
Scratch
who
Tickets.
translated that?
In this Rewind collection, you can snag your first prize slip after just 12 scratch count bonuses. The scratch count bonus features motion changes from past scratch count bonuses, the triumphant return of the PSO2 spec weapon camo, Sorcerer Morris, and more. That concludes the update information for today. Moving on to the next segment.
NGS Operation Report.
For this segment, the NGS Operation Report, I selected questions and comments from players to bring to the development and live operation teams and bring you their answers. I also have a letter from the developers to share with you. We'll start with the letter from the developers, a message from the dev team to the players. Allow me to read it to you. We would like to thank all the ARKs out there for continuing to play NGS. We hope that you will enjoy the game this year as well, and wish you a belated happy 2025. Moving forward, we will provide information on the intended implementation of updates introduced in this program and our plans for future updates in the form of a letter from the developers. First off, I would like to start with Dark Falls Vial. Since this Dark Falls has a connection to the story, it will be released in an urgent quest first instead of a high difficulty quest. Being a starless with ties to Zepheto and a post-Mars release Dark Falls class boss, Vial will demand the combined might of ARK's defenders and their Mars in this all-out battle. Furthermore, we are also planning to add story content that ties into this quest, so please look forward to it. Evoluvote 3, which is used to upgrade the Tricelio
Hopefully
series
that story content
to the
doesn't last like
Acrocelio
only 1 or 2
series,
minutes.
is available as a drop in this quest. For now, this item will only be available in this quest and its limited time trigger quest version to be released next week. So take on the challenge to get your Acrocelio series weapons. Next up is information regarding weapon upgrades. The long-awaited final upgrades for the Tricelio weapon series and the Tristasis armor series will arrive in February.
Final update.
Starting in early February, you can upgrade to the Acrocelio series whose attack performance surpasses that of the 12 series. It comes with a new potential that activates a follow-up attack under certain conditions when you activate your Photon Blast. Since this series uses materials that are acquired from Dark Falls Vial, it has the strongest attack performance among the 12-star rarity weapons.
Good.
As a drawback, it does not provide any support effects at all. Therefore, party play content is easier to clear using the 12 series weapons. Furthermore, starting mid-February, the Tristasis armor series can be upgraded to the Acrotasis armor series. As the first 11-star rarity armor in the game, this series boasts a potency increase of 6.5% in addition to its stellar HP, PP, and damage resist values. Take on Lucille Exploration.
That's what they
to
said,
obtain
Super
the
Batter.
Advance 3 upgrade material, upgrade your gear, and experience the power of an 11-star rarity armor. Lastly, I will discuss the updates concerning Ruin Masquerader. In order to allow more players to enjoy this battle, this boss was set at a difficulty that made it relatively easy to defeat when it was released in January. However, with the new depths that will be released in February's update, it will be strong enough to live up to the high difficulty content label. Equip yourself with the new Acrocelio weapon series and Acrotasis armor series and get ready to take it down.
We'll see.
That's all for the letter from the developers. Thank you for continuing to play NGS. That was the letter from the developers. Continuing on to the next section, I have answers to player questions and comments from the development and live operations teams. Here is the first one. The feedback and questions I submit to #NGS Headline never get featured. There are comments that don't get featured even though they are hot topics among players. On what basis do you determine what gets mentioned in the program?
Glad they're finally
Here is their
addressing this
response.
one.
The topics introduced in this section are hand-picked from the questions and comments submitted to us via the hashtag and the support team. We discuss with the development and live operations teams every week to determine which questions to feature in the broadcast. We appreciate each and every piece of feedback we receive. However, in this broadcast, we prioritize featuring items that are guaranteed to be part of our schedule and development plans down the line. This is to provide accurate information to our players. In addition, the more attention we receive concerning a particular game element, the more careful we have to be when we review and adjust it. Thus, we are sometimes unable to address these topics right away. When it comes to content that is under development or has unconfirmed details, we strive to relay information to our players as soon as possible, but only after the details have been ironed out. We look forward to your continued comments and feedback. That was their answer. We appreciate your understanding regarding this matter. Let's move on to the next question. Has the team considered implementing some kind of feature to allow searching weapons by series in the personal shop? Here is their response. We are currently working on implementing this feature. We plan to make it so that putting a question mark at the end of the weapon series name allows you to search for every type of weapon in that series. The same way the existing EX Augment series search feature works. We don't yet have a release date for this, but we appreciate your patience in the meantime. That was their answer.
That's a quality
Let's
of
move on
life
to the
change.
next question. Could you make it possible to use easy photo mode in the ARKS training center? Here is the
How is this
response.
important at all?
Turning off boss camera controls in the camera tab of the options menu will allow you to use easy photo mode. You can also use it in other quests or switch back to boss camera controls. However, please be considerate of others and use this only when playing solo or with other players who are trying to take photos, so as to not inconvenience other players. That was their answer.
Maybe you should add the photo blocks to
That's all for our
to the
Q&A
global
today.
version then.
Moving forward,
Yeah, we don't have those
we will
blocks on
continue
global,
to
but they
select
do on the
and bring
Japanese
your
servers.
questions and feedback to the development and operations teams and share their answers with you. Please share your thoughts and opinions about this program and the game using the hashtag NGS Headline on X and other social media. Moving on to the next segment.
NGS Satellite Information.
Yep, that's it.
Now let's move on from updates and talk about some other NGS-related info. I'm sure it will get you even more hyped to play the game. Let's start with this. Starting today, Volumes 3 and 4 of the NGS soundtrack are now available on Spotify, Apple Music, and other music streaming services.
Where could
can
you
also
even
use
purchase
these tunes
these?
when
I haven't
posting
heard of these
videos
ever
on
coming
TikTok.
out.
Enjoy music from the Kavaris and Stia regions on the platform of your choice. We are pleased to announce the release of Volume 3 of Central, the serialized comic, on the official NGS website. This volume will be available for purchase on February 26, 2025 for $9.99. The book also comes with original items that can be used in NGS. Let's take a look at the video.
Yeah, it really is getting to that point, isn't it?
There will be an announcement on the official site at a later date with more details. 2 types of Big Bang scratch tickets will be released as new rewards in February. Big Bang Scratch Gold was designed with the idea that every prize should put a smile on your face. While opportunities to draw these scratch tickets are limited, you can win big prizes that include up to 200 star gems, augment transfer passes, items worth up to 10 million N Meseta, and more. It also includes gamma reactors, new items that can be sold for 1 million N Meseta. You can get your hands on Big Bang Scratch Gold tickets via limited time campaigns and other events.
Yep,
Be
bribery.
sure to get your hands on them when you have a chance.
Yep, that and they may be
Big
trying to
Bang
mess up
Scratch
the
Silver
economy
is
now
a
as
new
well.
permanent reward scratch ticket with prizes that
You're
include
thinking that they
beta
might be
reactors
on the
and
verge
augment
of
transfer pass vouchers and more.
basically killing
There
the
will be
game for the
plenty of
next
these
game.
floating around.
Yeah,
So
another
snap 'em up
darker
and scratch
nest.
'em up. The lineup
type
of
situation.
the premium login bonus panel will be updated on February 5th. Get items worth 400,000 N Meseta, Star Gems, and Big Bang Scratch Silver tickets every week just by logging into the game daily. Now's the perfect time to pick up a premium set and get in on this loot. February is Ultra PSO2 month, a whole month of fantastic campaigns. Get ready to grab N Meseta, Star Gems, N Augment Transfer Pass vouchers, and more as we send a smorgasbord of items your way. We'll kick off with Ultra PSO2 Day Big Bang Burst on February 1st, which doubles the normal amount of PSO2 Day login bonus items and boosts. Naturally, players with an active premium set will get even more boosts and benefits.
Apparently this is going until the 11th, and then we'll see how long it goes for the premium part in the back half of the month.
You'll be able to earn Big Bang Scratch tickets gold by defeating Dark Falls Vial. You can earn up to 5 tickets, so fill your cup until it runneth over. The reward box will be available from February 6th. This time, we've changed things up a bit and included a large number of Star Gems and items you can sell for Meseta instead of Avatar items. Get every item in the box to earn a Big Bang Scratch ticket gold.
Yeah, we'll see what happens from here, because, yeah, this is really starting to sound like they're either desperate or they're setting up for the next game now.
The gifts for the PSO2 Day on March 1st will be distributed in conjunction with this. Next is a sneak peek of our March campaigns. Starting March 1st, we'll be holding campaigns to celebrate PSO2 Global's 5th anniversary. In addition to the rare drop rate boost of up to plus 300% for Ultra PSO2 Day Big Bang Burst, an additional plus 100% boost will be added on top of that. That will make the maximum possible boost a whopping plus 400%. We will also be holding events where you can get your hands on some fantastic prizes.
Rare drop rates
Don't
mean
miss them.
nothing.
Yep.
That's all for this episode of NGS Headline. This broadcast strives to make NGS even better by collecting audience input. Please share your thoughts and feedback on this program and the game using the hashtag NGS Headline on X. Together, we can make NGS an even more fantastic game. As a representative of the users, I will continue to work with the development team to make NGS a more enjoyable game for everyone. And I look forward to your continued support. The next episode of NGS Headline will be released on Tuesday, March 4th. We'll be focusing mainly on the updates coming in March 2025.
Kind of late on that one, that it's going to be already into the month.
And subscribe. Now then, ARKS, I'll see you at the next NGS Headline.
Thanks for watching here on Tuesday night. I'll see you on next NGS Headline. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it does have fewer days, doesn't it? Alright. So, let me just briefly take a look, see what's happened on the Japanese side, if there's anything to see here, that is. Looks like there was something else here. Let me kind of back this up a bit then. Looks like they're doing a web...
Requests.
Say again?
Oh, just responding to Super Batter. We do need featured requests again.
Yep. Alright, so there's a web money thing. And then they go into the soundtrack, the central thing. Oh, okay. They start talking about something that we were going to talk about a little bit later here. Give me a second. I'm going to bring this up on screen. And we will... I guess we might as well address this now here, shouldn't we? Say hello to Sega account. So they didn't say anything about this on the global side. Sega account is basically something that was introduced recently, and the funny thing about Sega account is there's actually an English side to this as well. Let me go ahead and bring that on up here.
Yep. And it's weird how they have the registration set up.
Yep. Oops. Yeah. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do this with PSO2 Global because of the fact that we sign in using basically whatever game store we downloaded PSO2 from.
Well, you can link those storefronts to the account, so that's how they would probably do that.
Yep. And this was something that is official by Sega. There was some initial confusion about it, but yeah, Sega official did talk about it. Which is basically, this is going to be on top of the Sega ID that Japanese players use to sign into the game now. Going back to this, apparently you're going to be able to get like 300 star gems and a whole bunch of capsules and some other stuff here by signing up a Sega account on top of your Sega ID. But this brings up another thing, which is kind of interesting about this whole thing, because just a few days ago here, they put out a pretty interesting post here on X.
And Super Batter, take a bow. You're the one who found this for us.
Yep. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, they basically compiled some English phrases that you can use with the in-game chat in NGS. And now this kind of has us wondering, okay, is there maybe a ship merge coming between the Japanese and English side now?
Or something. Sega Japan rarely likes to acknowledge the foreign players on their servers, especially now that there is an IP block. So this is weird.
Yeah, especially if they're just going to dump us into ships 1 to 4 on the Japanese side, because my recollection from way back in the day is ship 4 basically hated all the English players' guts.
Yeah, they might do that. They also might do a thing where the servers are still kept separate, technically, but they're now hosted on in the same center, and you can actually do a ship transfer or something. We might be also involved in that way. There's basically this all ship between the different regions.
Could be. I will note that this is not unprecedented. The GameCube version of Episode 1 and 2 Phantasy Star Online, you could actually go between the US, EU, and Japanese ships at will.
You could do that also on the old Dreamcast servers as well. and they had a tool to help you with that called Word Select.
Yeah, so it's interesting that finally, 12, 13 years after PSO2 launched, that they're acknowledging the English player base a little bit better here for who's already on those servers. Primarily, they went to ship 2 for the English player base, and I was with them when PSO2 launched in Japan, so I was there when that all happened and went down. But yeah, it's
So
go ahead.
So I don't think this is so much a case. I'm thinking this might be a ship merger. I'm certain some people are thinking they may be shutting down the global servers just because the global servers are the weakest servers right now. Not in terms of equipment and such, but I mean weakest in terms of player count. And I know there's some talk that they may be shutting down the global servers, but I doubt it because of how the Japanese economy is. They basically need the money from the global side.
Yep. Now, even if this is like a server merger and we're having to play on the Japanese side of things going forward, I can tell you that the lag is not that bad, and it has to do with how much of the game is handled client side versus server side. So your hits are still going to land instantly like they've always done. It's just damage numbers and drops may take a quick moment or two to show up compared to how they are currently, if that's what's happening. Again, this is all speculation right now. We really don't know what's going on here, why this is a thing right now, but we kind of have to at least put some speculation into what Sega's thinking here.
And I should also notice this is being released through Sega Official instead of the Sega PSO2 account, which makes things...
Yeah, the Rapikamu account is what it's called.
Well, the Rapikamu as well, but the Rapikamu basically retweeted this. But the fact that this is on the Sega Official instead of the Sega PSO2 account makes me also curious if they're kind of trying to keep this on the down low as well. So it's
see.
weird.
Yeah, it's this really just came out of nowhere, and it's like we don't have any indication that anything is happening. They haven't said anything in those letters from the developers about anything like this happening. So I don't know where this came from. I would love to hear somebody from the development team talking about what caused this to happen right here. But yeah, that's at least what we've got here. Let's move on to some other stuff from New Genesis that's happened in the past month. So there was an issue with the distribution end date shown for the refined form January 2025 and daily free Star Gem ticket ending earlier than intended. So this is actually going to end it's going to end May 13th instead of April 8th. The Super Genesis Boost Part 3 did not apply to the Extra Duel. It finally did start applying on the 15th at 5 a.m. They actually went into the adjustments for the premium slots for the login bonus, so we don't have to cover that anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. There was an extended maintenance. Maintenance got extended for an extra 30 minutes, and they are talking about some sort of compensation. I'd expect that's probably gonna be like 10 or 20 Star Gems.
So I'm going to say this was apparently confirmed to have been connected to the Sega account. So, also about the Sega account, there is no password on it, which is one of those weird things. It all is done through basically sending a code to your email.
Yep, that seems to be the way things are moving these days. Moving on from that. Apparently there's an issue where security software detection may prevent the game from launching. They really don't go into any details here about which particular piece of antivirus software or security software is causing this. But they basically recommend excluding the installation folder for PSO2 New Genesis from the places that are being monitored if you're experiencing this issue.
In all honesty, I've had to... Basically, a lot of us have had to, for a while, just go without antivirus just because... Well, any serious antivirus just because of the anti-cheat. Super Batter, basically, the anti-cheat uses viral tactics to basically monitor the system. So I'm not surprised, really.
Yeah, it's not the heavy duty one, but as we know, they did switch over away from GameGuard last year, so maybe it's some returning players that are experiencing these issues all of a sudden. I can't really say for certain.
It can just also be one of the security vendors just getting a little too, I'm trying to think, just too over-aggressive with their scanning and such.
That could be, yeah. Alright, and then the other thing we have, there's the inability to accept the order for the Urgent Quest Planet Crusher Assault D2 directly from the field. I experienced this myself as well. I was in the North Kavaris field, and it was not the D2 version that was showing up. It was just the regular Planet Crusher Assault that was showing up if I was in North Kavaris. So yeah, if you see that happen, just open up your map and start it from there instead. Which is what they recommend as well here. And that's it for New Genesis here. Let's move on now to Clementine updates. So the January 2025 update is out, and the boost from the prior event ended on the 18th. Or actually, no, they extended it to it looked like the what is that? The 20th. And then they said that just to bring you some small news for those of us who enjoy quality of life updates, Bob introduced 2 new features for the Ultimate Lounge lobby for all to enjoy. Lumilass is now accessible from the Ultimate Lounge. And then they now have access to the Ultimate Lounge from player rooms. So you'll see an option to go directly to the Ultimate Lobby, be available just below the option to go to the 5th floor. Following that, then, they made an announcement that Valentine's event is going to be in early to mid-February. And they've also made some adjustments to the auction rules, that being on their official Discord. And then they put out this whole thing here. So now they've confirmed the Valentine's event is for February the 8th. And there's going to be 2 limited time missions. The first is Scorched Valley, an old official mission with its spawns adjusted to include a variety of more MoTube fire enemies. So it sounds like this was a part of Firebreak from way back in the day then. Players will receive a photon eraser, yep, that confirms it, when starting the mission to purify seed cores spread throughout the mission. Purifying the seed cores will spawn Rappy/Jago Amurs at the end of the mission. More cores purified equals more enemies. Purifying all cores will allow players to fight Ethan Weber alongside the Rappies and Jagos.
Really? You get to beat the crap out of Ethan Weber, huh?
Yeah, technically you can already do that in the training mission that they put you through on the Guardians colony, the Clem Camp mission. But yeah, you were able to fight Ethan Weber. Then you have Duet Under Sakura, a custom 2-player mission. Find a partner and get as far as possible. There will be laps in this mission. The more laps cleared, the more boxes that'll spawn at the end of the mission. Each lap, the enemy's stats will increase. The mission will only be available for Ultimate difficulty, and you must have 2 players to start it. Note, enemies will not have drops in this mission, only the end boxes will have them. So, this might be a take on an old mission from PSO, where you and a second player basically had to take 2 different routes in order to complete a mission. Although, that mission didn't loop endlessly like this one apparently is going to. Also, there's an Ultimate Enemy drop rework coming. They'll be rolling out an initial drop update for enemies. During the Valentine's event, only Scorch Valley will be affected by this update. Other Ultimate missions will receive the updated enemy drops after the event. The drop rework will give enemies multiple different drops, along with drop rates being boosted based on the buffs the enemy has. The goal is for players to feel rewarded for fighting more and tougher enemies rather than punished. They appreciate the feedback on how they feel during the event. And as always, if the start date has to be pushed back for any reason, they'll update. So let's take a look at the January update. So, the Snow Peak Christmas party did end, and these boosts all went through for the event. And then the Ultimate difficulty level requirement was reduced from 190 to 180. You got 5 new Ultimate missions: Mechanical Ghosts, Twin-Headed Ruins, Robotanical Gardens, Sinner's Banquet, and Hooligan Hideout. As for Ultimate mission adjustments for Unsafe Passage, they removed a repeat spawn at the end of B2. Sleeping Warriors, they heavily adjusted early spawns in Block 1, slightly adjusted some spawns in other blocks, and removed the Svaltis Champion. Aquatic Mama, they removed the ice element from the humanoids and set them to default element. They removed the Grenabit X and adjusted a variety of spawns. Oozing Chaos, they removed the downstairs spawn from Block 1, and they adjusted the final spawns of Block 1. And they removed the sword buff from a large group of Govara in Block 3. The Dark God, they replaced Delnadinas with Deljaban in Block 3. Adjusted some of the spawns in Deljaban in them now. In Castle of Monsters, they adjusted the final block spawns to be like official spawns. They adjusted the first spawn of Block 1, and adjusted the Delp Slammy's Foy to be much weaker, but a higher chance to apply burn. And then lastly, for Red Hot Jungle, they reduced some spawn sizes, and reverted some enemy changes back to official. As for area drop updates, they revised area drops for rank C to S4, and they added new weapon drops for all areas in Ultimate. And then for different areas, they added a whole bunch of new drops here. As you can see, I'm not going to go through this entire list here. The page is here if you want to read them more specifically. They also made adjustments to the enemy Ultimate drops. And then for Ultimate Recycling Box, the Recycling/U weapons now give an Ultra Grinder instead of nothing if you're unlucky. Alright, and then moving on to Ephinia. So, on the 12th, there was an issue with the glass walls and music discs in Gallon's shop that was fixed. Additionally, Rafoy and Guyfoy properties were removed from advanced_config.txt due to some particle issues. Those properties may return at a later date once the issues are ironed out. As part of server maintenance also, the output of /mat count was changed to display on the side of the screen in the same space as /party info. They fixed an issue in the server that prevented selling weapons with negative hit to the shop. They fixed another issue in the server that prevented exchanging some items for team points if they had unexpected data in unused bytes. This data was sanitized by the client and caused the server to think there was a desync. They fixed a rounding error with the sandbox /sd command that would sometimes prevent a real cast of that level from overriding the existing one. They fixed another issue with the same command that could sometimes lower equipped ATP once SD ended. They added some new properties to advanced_config.txt for accessibility. The new properties allow customizing the minimap icons for the final phase of Dark Falls, disabling the sun and lens flare effects in some maps, and limiting the number of particles used by Gaifoy. A new property to disable rendering of the target window in the bottom left corner was also added. They also fixed some issues in advanced_config.txt around Rafoy's particles and caused high-level Rafoy to look different. The Rafoy bazooka particle count properties were removed and may not return for a while. They added the enhanced map draw option to the launcher. This option tricks the client into thinking each piece of the map geometry should always be rendered, greatly increasing the draw distance in certain outside areas. And they added a new show mob drop option to the launcher. This option is disabled by default and has 3 settings when it's enabled. When enabled, the target window in the bottom left will display the designated rare item drop for the targeted monster. The other options will also show the current drop rate or the current drop rate with the base rate in parentheses. The game is emulating the server logic for drop rates, so there could be some corner cases where it doesn't update correctly and some slight rounding errors. And they ask players to let them know if they see any. Finally, they fixed a small issue where the target window for players and items was offset by 9 units in the HUD space. And that's it for the latest Affinia update. And that runs through all the updates that I have for today. Was there anything else you wanted to bring up today, Rooks?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, then in that case, that brings us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Rooks and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you for joining us.